Hello everyone, I'm Katherine.
And I'm Serafice.
And we're the Oracles of Bitch. And as you can tell, we're probably in the exact same spot as we were in our last video. We're in Bridget's Steakhouse in Ambler. It's our favorite lunch spot. Every 2 weeks we're here. So they were kind enough to allow us in their back room to plug in video where it's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. So we figured we have this time and get a couple because, you know, I know for the next month I'm crazy busy on the road and shows and work and you're crazy work and family and stuff like that. So let's front load and get it over with. So we decided to talk about protection.
Yes.
And we're not talking about condoms and birth control.
You stole my line.
I do want to talk about STDs. Spiritually transmitted disease.
Yeah.
And our policies of about protection and what it is and so on.
Sure.
So what have been some of your complaints, or just kind of like your concerns around protection and so on?
Well, first of all, it was a very important part of my development as a psychic and as a practitioner of energy work to learn how to protect myself, to learn how to cleanse my energy and how to transmute energy so that it's not mucking up my works.
Like short-circuiting circuitry.
Yes. So it's a really important tool to learn, particularly when you're sensitive, either energetically or emotionally, to be able to create a sense of calm and space for yourself that is feels secure. However, there are some ideas about energy that I think are problematic that I come across as far as the fear that is involved with having other people touch my stuff. I don't want other people touching my stuff. I don't care. You can touch my stuff.
Yeah, because it always, when I first started with understanding energy and the practices, again, it's that everything has to have a ritual and this and that. And I'm sorry, I'm lazy. Yeah, I really am. And it's just like, really, it's too much of an effort. I'm going to bail out on it every time. Like,
For me, I kind of liked the ritual because I didn't have a lot of ceremony or ritual in my life prior to taking up spiritual practices and energy work. However, I really believed them when I heard it's all about your intention.
Yes.
So I went, oh, okay, I don't have to do this long and prolonged dance unless I really feel like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, it's good to feel good on the body.
Yeah.
But the one thing that always did not resonate well with me is they're like, oh, don't let anybody touch your crystals or your cards, or no, that's sacred. And it's like, why? Because you're going to leave that energetic imprint, or they're going to leave their stuff behind. Well, what about clearing it?
Didn't we just learn how to clear stuff?
Yeah. So you can still create intention. These cards are still sacred. This crystal is sacred.
Yes.
Yes. So you clean it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like using the disinfectant spray after every use.
Sure. Yeah. So it allows whoever that you may be in contact with to interact with your energy on a more intimate level, which can be very beneficial for lower vibrations, to interact with a higher circuitry.
Right.
But there shouldn't be this whole fear. I have actually literally seen people have a little bit of a nervous breakdown about people touching their things, which is just very surprising to me. When you understand the laws of the law of attraction and the way that energy works and intention, it really shouldn't be a big deal.
Right, and it's the whole fear against anything. It's like, no, don't do this. The minute you say, don't, that's fear talking.
Yeah.
Every time, don't do this, or this must be this way. Tell me why. I don't understand it. Is our mentor used to say, there's really no need for ritual, because anytime, or especially with protection, like, the minute you put the circle of salt, you've just said to the universe, I'm scared for myself.
Right.
And so is that circle of protection really just you saying, I'm scared and I will be attacked because things are going to get me? People, it's energy.
Right, right. And as long as you have the intention and the understanding and the security of knowing you are clear and safe and strong, that's all you really need.
Right. And now I'm more than capable of defending myself, because there is no need to defend. Energy is energy. There's always light, there's always dark.
Right.
It's how you treat it. It's a respect.
Well, and I do think it's interesting talking about the ways that human beings interact with each other and things. So they're in marketing, right? There is this idea of you make something desirable by limiting. There's only 50 available, and call now. And so this idea of lack. And to get on the inside, you have to, participate in that experience. But what I see in the spiritual world sometimes is this idea that I just really lost that.
Oh. Yeah. I'm going into the next topic. There's another more information coming in.
Yeah, because it's like I'm trying to talk about this whole idea about there being ritualized importance on an object like a crystal or a ceremony, and how attached we get to that. When in reality, as long as you have that intention of this is the thing that I'm seeking, security or cleansing or strength, you have that. And believing in yourself and that understanding of the way the universe works kind of is more important than buying into this idea of if I don't have this specific thing, then I'm black.
Right.
I'm without.
Yeah, without, and it's all down to fear.
Yeah,
down to fear. It's just I work with so many people. They're like, how do you protect yourself? For what?
right.
I don't go down to personally. How do I protect myself? I've done martial arts, but I'm still not going to go down that damn dark alley. Yeah. I'm not stupid,
Right.
And I'm not scared of it. There is no need to protect myself from energy.
Sure.
Because it's not a protection. It's basically being street smart. You feel it, you sense it. I don't like what's sitting in the corner. I'm not going to look at it. Hey, what's that? No, I'm like, I don't like that. I'm moving on.
Sure. And then it's like the old analogy about playing in traffic. There is a way to cross a very busy street, even when you're not on the corner. And it's through observation and being aware of your surroundings and recognizing when there's a threat coming and moving out of the way. Not laying down and going, I hope a car doesn't hit me.
Things I'm afraid of is someone standing there with a volatile weapon threatening my physical life.
It's a physical threat.
Yeah, it's a physical threat. Getting hit by that random bus, falling off the high ladder. Something that's going to cause me physical harm because that shit hurts.
But you don't fear spiritual attack?
No.
I mean,
No, because one, I don't instigate it. Also,
good one.
And also, if everything of light is love, what's the opposite of love? Fear. So I am not going to give that dark energy, or people would say evil. Evil's an intention, not a way.
Yes.
So these dark negative energies, it's just the polar opposite. It's of equal value. And so I'm going to treat it with respect, because I'm not going to give an intention of that going, I'm so scared, and it's going to, oh, look, buffet.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit my ass down there and just chew away at that buffet of fear that this person's going to give me. No, I'm not going to do it. However, I don't mind interacting with dark energies or negative energies, whatever, and because think of it as the ghetto. If you think of a very crime-ridden place, like some of the darkest parts, nastiest parts of Camden, if you walk through there all scared and you treat other people with disrespect, yeah, your ass is going to get kicked. It's just the way it is. But if you walk through there with your head held high, confident, just going, hello, how are you? I'm not going to go there after hours. Street smart.
Sure, yeah.
But, treat with respect, they're going to leave you alone. They might harass you a little bit, but you're like, yo, I'm not here for that. And also, in that darkness, how many in those areas sometimes the energies are very, very good. It's just a polarity difference. How many God-fearing, beautiful, religious people live in horrible places? Does living in these crime-filled areas of filled with negativity, does that make them a bad, evil person? No, it's just where they reside.
Right.
It doesn't make them. They're still, just because they live in a dark place does not make them a bad person.
And I'm pretty sure you're on the same page as I am, that there is not a devil, and that there is not a, how would we want to describe that? A force of evil that is intent on attacking individuals. There are entities.
People have spellcasters, people who have directed, again, intention, who drive direction.
Yeah.
Energy needs direction. It just doesn't randomly move on its own. What drives energy? Intention.
Right.
It can be good intention, and there is bad intention. Intention is intention.
Sure. Well, I don't know how to see it. You know me, I don't like the word good or bad.
Well, and to get to that, those who...
The discussion about
it's like it's all about the polarity of it.
Right, because I'm a firm believer that, for instance, people are not good or bad.
Yeah.
People do things that are maybe out of the light. but the other thing is that I don't believe that every person who does a bad thing on Earth is necessarily a bad spirit who's being led astray. There is purpose in challenges on the physical level, and sometimes a spiritual being can decide to come and do certain physically bad things to help encourage growth.
Right, because that goes into the whole realm of soul contract and so on.
Right.
Because we all make deal and deal before we come down with who we are going to be playing with on this realm. And, it's like, I need to learn this lesson on being self-sufficient or being confident or overcoming a tragedy. So could you, while you're here, be the a-hole and really do something horrible to me so I know how to overcome it and grow from it?
Yeah.
And that's your job in this, is to really push everybody. And you'll be like, oh, sure, I can do that.
Right.
Yeah, I have an experience being on the flip side of the coin. So yeah, I'll be the asshole this life and be considered a bad person.
Right. And that's why I get a little frustrated when I hear people talking about, that person must be really, they're really racking up the karmic debt. It's like, well, how do you know they're not repaying the karmic debt?
Exactly.
And it's really important that we not judge each other and judge the actions of our spirit or our physical self. We're only supposed to be really attentive to what we are doing, what I as an individual. That's my job, is to pay attention to what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Not what other people are doing.
Yeah, because during that big life change, the person I was moving away from gave me a ring of like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this to me. And I can't even imagine what type of karma you're creating for yourself.
Right. Now you're releasing yourself.
Yeah, I was releasing myself from a codependent relationship. And ever since then, things have been on an upward trajectory. So I'm going, well, I guess that must have been really good karma. But in that other individual's perspective,
right,
I did something against their feelings and things like that. And so it was a way of trying to bring me down and say, oh, karma's always bad. So we aim for something bad, you're right.
And it's not. It's a tool. Karma is a tool that is used to help facilitate growth and expansion. I mean, that is the purpose, right? Is we're supposed to come and grow and experience and learn, and karma is a tool that helps us do that.
Right. But going back to protection,
I'm sorry, I got off topic.
No. So going back, one thing that gets me is the need that, again, going back to the protection of, oh my God, I have to protect myself. I cannot leave the house without all my crystals and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's becoming reliant on the tools to help support you. It's not, there's no such thing as a shield. There is no thing. You are not 100% impervious. Because, and I use the garden rule, if you go out in the garden and you spray yourself with all this bug spray and stuff like that, shit's still going to crawl on you.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be out there digging in the dirt, expect things to get on you.
Mm-hmm.
But what do? You got to shower it off. You got to clean off. Just get rid of the muck. But also, I consider crystals and any other things as a fortification, like a vitamin supplement.
Right.
It just boosts your energetic immune system.
Well, the thing is that your energetic body learns from wearing crystals. Like take for instance, garnet is a really protective and grounding stone. Now all I have to do is think about garnet, and my energy knows what to do.
Right. And this going into people are scared of. This is a big one. The energy vampires. Oh my God. Enough with the vampirism, people. Oh my God.
So sexy. Come on.
Oh man. Because there was somebody did a quote on Facebook, and I just sat there with my mouth open going, wow. And it went all along the lines, now that I'm becoming more well-known, I'm getting more attacks. No, they're not attacking. You are not being attacked. I think people with sensitivities are basically interpreting, which is a bad thing to do, interpreting what they feel based on their issues.
Right.
So if you grew up with people in an abuse situation, and especially if it was like if you say mom or father was a narcissist and they were constantly attacking you, so anytime anybody has so if anybody has an ill thought towards you, it's the direction of the intent. But is it really an attack?
No, it's just them having their own experience.
Yeah.
And you having your own experience, and you're like, why are you experiencing that?
Right. So it's like, oh my God, yeah, I maybe say someone's doing something really good, and I'm like, oh God, it's my jealousy. But if they're sensitive enough, they're picking up on my jealousy, but they don't know how to feel it outside of just energy just coming in and smacking them.
Right.
And they're like, I'm being attacked. No, you're not. It's not an attack. Unless it is a true spell cast, where it's like,
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's the do harm clause.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just random thoughts. You're picking up on their jealousies, their personal hurts, and their negative issues, and everything, and it's just coming your way. It's not to tear you down, because if you're okay with yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Right. And you have to think about it like the flow of water. And it's a cold patch, or it's a hot patch, or a yellow patch. It's not actually going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times the fear involved with, oh my God, what is that happening that's coming towards me, I think is more detrimental to the person than the actual thing that's coming towards them, which, is then not helpful to their own grounding of a sense of confidence in themselves, which is really what you're supposed to be doing, right? Growing your sense of confidence and understanding who you are and what you need. And also, don't take things so personally, man.
It's when people start projecting, all it is an outward projection of the inner self. When people have those bad thoughts about you, it's not you.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is that all of us experience random thoughts that come into our heads that aren't actually necessarily how we really feel about that person or that situation.
Right.
We just maybe randomly, hormonal, or having a bad day, or just having a correlation to another situation, and then the thought comes into our head, and if the other person is being extra sensitive, and I can't believe you thought that about me, it's just a thought.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you're strong in your own self, who cares what other people think of you? Right? I love that quote, what other people think of you is none of your business.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. I think that's
true.
RuPaul says that, but I think she might have gotten it from somebody else.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. And it is. It's none of your business, because it's all it is judgment.
Right.
And people say they don't judge bullshit. Everybody judges on some level. It's a human factor.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up about judgment.
Yeah.
It's learning to go being less judgmental, because your judgment is really how you really perceive yourself.
Sure, right. It's all of it, because those people who judge the most are the ones that feel the most judged.
Exactly.
In most cases.
Yeah, and that's because you're just so damn hard on yourself.
Right.
So if you're finding yourself judging, you need to take a hard look inside. It's like, why am I told this is wrong? Because I'm trying to deny that I could possibly do that
Right.
as well.
Well, and then there's, just to backtrack again a little bit, when we're talking about the attacks from other people, I think it's important to recognize, there's that saying, what other people do is you can't take it personally. Like, even if they're coming at you with a knife, it's not personal. It's not about you.
Right.
It's them having their own experience and going through their own ritual of whatever, expression of whatever. But it's really important as a person who is wanting to find strength and confidence to recognize that outward attacks, it is just like air blowing. It is just like, water flowing by you, or ants, right? So ants coming, they can't hurt you. And your fear of getting hurt by this thing that can't hurt you is hurting you.
Right. And it's just when you said, somebody who attacks you, that was, what I got was, okay, yeah, don't take it personally, because sure as hell, that mother did not look up your profile on Facebook, hunt your ass down, and go, you know what, I know you, I saw you, so I hunted you down to personally mug you. No! These acts are random. Just like people's emotions, people's thoughts and feelings, and so on. It's a random process.
And even when we're talking about someone that knows you, so your parent or your friend or your lover, when they say something to you, it's not about the way that you are, it's about the way that they're perceiving the way that you are. So it's really all about that person's own life experiences that are coloring what is happening. So that's why it's so important to disengage when you are having a high emotional interaction with someone, and recognize your reactions are based on your experience, as their reactions are based on their experience. And if you can come together in a space of recognizing that it's not a personal thing.
Right. But there's times when it's learning to also own what you once found ashamed about yourself, because you have the societal roles of this is how you're supposed to be and so on. And I'm sorry, people, unless you're all holy and high and mighty, and even then they screw up.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Factor. Yeah. But when someone calls you out on things that they perceive as wrong, sinful, morally incorrect, okay, for them maybe that's their morals and values and so on, based on how they were raised and their belief structure. But sometimes they will try to use that to break you down.
And that's not the back of you.
No, the only way you would react is if you still have shame about that.
Right.
Again, because this is the most recent insanity in my life. I ran away from home. I was 18, but I left home because it was just insane, right into a marriage. And 5 years later, I left that marriage because it was a desperate plea to get out of the house. There was really no love. So I walked away from that. I walked away from a second marriage, and I walked away from other relationships. And this one person who was very close to me, I walked away from for my higher good. I could not take the insanity anymore. But what they did was, based on their perceptions and their morality, is I used to beat myself up for the things I did. It's like, oh, that's wrong. I should have hung in there instead of getting divorced. They weren't good men, but it just, the situation was not allowing me to grow and expand to be how I am. So she actually threw out at me. It's like, okay, I'm in this amazing relationship now, and I don't see it going anywhere, but I'm also confident that, shit changes. Who knows what may happen 10, 15, 20 years from now. If our relationship disintegrates, it disintegrates and life moves on.
Well, the question is, so I think what we're getting at here is that idea that it's not what you do, it's why you're doing it. So if you're disengaging from a relationship, are you doing it out of fear, or are you doing it out of a purpose because you recognize that this is not serving me anymore?
But that whole situation showed me that it's like, well, honey, you knew I did this. I even told you the reasons why I had to leave these situations. But yet, twisting it, knowing that this is of me and my lack of self-confidence and worth, and worry of loss, that it was kind of like using it as a little dagger to get back at me. Because the comment was, you did this to this person, these people, and so on. Now you're with this new person, and you know what? By your pattern, you will do it again. And it took my ex-husband, of all people, to smack me out of it, because he's looking at me going, well, if you walked away from all of this, never to speak with them again, what the hell are you doing on my porch? Like, good point. And it really is. I walked away due to circumstance,
Right.
for my fit. But it was then presented as it's a bad thing, you should be ashamed, along with all the other bad things you do in your life. And it's like, well, this was no surprise to you. Like, you are twisting the truth because I hurt you. Now, I mean your emotional shit unbelievably. So it's why do we feel bad and scared about people knowing about us and so on? And that's also another thing about protection, is people are trying to hide what they feel most shame about.
Right.
And about themselves. They're like, ooh, don't get in there, don't get in there. People, you want the best power, you want to take control of the situation, let it all out. Tell everybody almost every indiscretion you've ever had in your life. Oh my God, yes, and it will ruin on everybody's scenes and perception of what that is.
Yeah.
But you know what? Once I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, what did I feel so bad about? I tell people why I left the other, and I'm like, it kicked me out of it. Why am I upset?
Right.
Go ahead, think what you want.
Because you were making decisions based on your own sense of morality and your own needs.
Right.
Which is, I think, what we should be doing, rather than listening to an external force that is imposing certain expectations on us.
Right. So the need for protection a lot of times is really based, again, back on our fears, but it also now goes down to societal shame and this and that, and people are afraid of what people may think about them, so we got to cut it off. And then anybody who's projecting that energy that's almost identical to the way we feel about ourselves is going to magnify it, and it feels like an attack because of what they're doing is taking their issue and just adding to yours.
Sure, it leans on it, makes it bigger, makes it come to the surface with the purpose of you addressing it and working through it. That's why we have these breakdowns that happen, or that we run into these people that trigger us. It's meant to encourage growth and a better understanding of yourself and a better understanding of your ability to deal. And to heal and to get over it.
Yes, so that's part of the fear of the protection. I think it's because nobody wants to deal with their crap.
Well, and people don't want to deal with their crap out in public. That's a big thing too. I think that people, because there's that exposure that you're out in the great outdoors.
Nuclear, which that you may want to rein back because others may be hurting the release of emotion. But then again, it's like we're afraid of the expression based on our past experience. Were you made fun of as a child for expressing the emotion?
Right.
And then here you are in a public place, ready to emote, and it's like you jam off because people may judge you or met with a negative consequence. So it's not anything about being attacked.
Right.
Now, being sensitive, I do when I go into big crowds and so on. Like right now, I really don't have any crystals on me. And my earrings, that's about it. Yeah, that's it. And I forget they're even there. But a lot of times I don't even carry crystals with me. Excuse me.
You're adept at aligning your energy.
Exactly.
You use the crystals to help you understand what that looked like on an energetic level, and then you can move forward and not need them necessarily.
Right, and so that one, I'm going to be going to a concert in a couple months, and I hate concerts to begin with, and it's not, it's so loud, because it's so overwhelming, and you have all those people, and anybody with sensitivities understands this. So I need to go to this one, because I'm very curious about the show, so I know I'm going to take the extra crystals with me, and earplugs. And things like that to fortify so it's not as overwhelming. I can't block it out because it's too enormous. But, it just bring it down to a dull roar so I'm not getting beat up and fatigued of trying to combat it myself because I want to enjoy the experience as well.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
To have fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because didn't we establish already that's what we're here for?
Fun. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I really have nothing to blow up on us about this.
Me neither.
All right, again, thank you, everyone. And again, any suggestions, comments, quips, snarkiness,
Sure.
Let us know.
Bring it on.
All right. Have a great day and mama snark to everyone.
Mama snark.